are we doing today? I hope you're all doing well. Welcome back to a new season for FRL, and I think we are here for Season 7, Round 1 at the Bahrain GP. So I hope you're all doing well in tonight's race. And we're here for short qualifying for 18 minutes. I've been commentated a lot for Bahrain recently, and talk about Bahrain, we've obviously got an F1 race here as well this weekend. And for those who haven't seen, looks good for Red Bull. Looking a bit, Mercedes look like they're struggling just a bit. So looks like they need to make some amendments to their car so they can be back up there where they obviously want to be. But we've got some cars now heading out of the track, and we've got FRL Ginger, who's coming out of the garage along with the Mercedes and the Renault. I won't be saying that next game, I'll be calling them Alpine in the next game, but for now it is Renault. And obviously I've just remembered that it's the short track, so this is turn 4 here, I believe. So yeah, I expect a lot of people to come out of the pits now, and this could be nip and tuck, because there could be a lot of traffic in the way as well, and that is the Mercedes of Quicksilver, who's got ahead of Joey. We've got some cars ahead of them. We've got Chapelele up there, we've got TK1, Zach's back as well, so don't know who to go on board with here. Who's that car ahead? I'll go on board with Jules first, because he's the first one to come across the line to set a lap. So here we are then, as they start queuing up to start their flying laps. Alright then, so on board with Jules then, heading down on the main straight with DRS wide open, approaching 207 miles per hour as we brake into the heavy braking zone. It's turn 1, bring it down through the gears, late apex through there. You won't really touch the apex through there because it will unsettle your car. And now we're coming through turn 4, third exit. So I think you can go as wide as you can through there, because as Jules proved to use a lot of the racetrack and more of it, so very confident through there is Jules. Braking through turn 5. I was about to say turn 11, but it's not turn 11. Now coming through turn 6, you want to avoid the apex, you want to avoid the curb through there, which he does do. And through turn 7 we go. Middle sector is going to be a 43.7. Don't know really what middle sectors people should be setting. So Zach goes quickest with a 57.9 as he's been replaced by Chapelele. Bread's up into second place as well, so a 57.9. Quicksilver up into P3 with a 57.9, and Ginger 57.8 for him. Chapelele set at 57.5, so we've got some lap times coming here. Kaz up into P3 with a 57.8. Hardy in P9 with a 58.1, Terror Racer with a 58.4, Rataka P58.6. Sam is on a lap, or coming towards the end of his first flyer lap. As he makes his way across the line, he goes up into P9, does the Dutchman, as Joey goes up into P8 with a 58.0. Joey on his debut for FRL. Mickey Ulizzi in the Renault partnership with Joey, and he's validated his lap. Sahilu, as we head down into turn 1, first gear through there to get the extra rotation, short shifting quite a lot is Sahilu, so I don't think he's really confident enough on the throttle. Has a lock up into turn 3. Now down the hill we go with DRS open once again for this second straight, as we make our way down into turn 5. There's a lot of care with the entry, which he did do as well, and used the exit. And let's see, this is how turn 6 is going to be. Very nice through there, obviously flat out. Now through turn 7 we go, using a lot of care with the entry. And let's see what his middle sector is compared in comparison to others. 44.0 as the Mercedes gets out of his way. Quicksilver has done 2 laps, it's third place, but Sahilu has invalidated his lap time and he will have to go again. So Quicksilver has popped himself up into P3, Simon into P5. Jill, nice to see IGK Jill here. He's into P8 now. He's on a second flyer lap time. He opens DRS a little bit later than he would have wanted to, as we head down into turn 5. The Frenchman making his debut in the Racing Point. Who's that? Somebody off the track there. There's a stationary AlphaTauri I wonder who could that be. Maybe he's just slowing down. It might be Giroud Vizza on the track. He's just validated his lap time, so go back on board with Jill. 44, yeah, he's not on a flying lap, is he? 8 tenths down in the middle sector, and he spins in the last corner too. Don't want to be doing that too often, lighting up the tyres, and he will make his way back into the pits then, after a dismal second run. His teammate though, out on the outlap. What's Simon doing? Simon's just going to the pits, because he's running out of fuel, so we'll go on board with Brett, who's currently in P6 in his first run, and he's on a brand new set of the soft compound tyres, and he's done a 57.92. So along with others doing a 57.9, there's like 8 drivers went on a 57.9. So on board with Brett then, can he make improvements on his second flying lap in the racing point? We'll find out soon as he makes his way down into turn 1. We've got a bit of traffic coming out of the pits ahead of us, but I don't think it'll affect him too much because they'll get out the way for him. Now we come down into turn 4 here. Takes you through 4th gear. Rolls down the hill with DRS open for the second straight. This is a short track, by the way, for people joining. Chapelele is back out there and he's doing a flying lap, so keep an eye on his performance as we've got Symbolics ahead of us, so hopefully he gets out of the way, otherwise he'll compromise Bread's lap in that dirty air. He should get out of the way right about now. That's a bit distracting for Bread. He needs to get out of the way now, come on. Oh, that's dirty air from Symbolics. What is he doing? And Bread is down in the middle sector, so I dare say that was all Symbolics is doing there. Bread makes his way across the line, and that is going to be a 58.0, which he doesn't want to have. So he'll be frustrated with that one, knowing he could have improved. Chapelele going for fly lap. I believe he might have made a mistake through there. It's an Alfa Romeo 1-2, so it's looking good for those two at the moment. Quicksilver on an out lap. Brett's going for another fly lap, it seems. Jules into tail 1. Put up a goal ball with somebody else. Vapor in 11th place. What about Joey? He's coming towards the final corner, and Joey is down, so he's on a second flyer lap. Is the Englishman, as Symbolics has gone wide. Surprisingly not invalidated it. There's Terror Racer in the Williams. His teammate down in P18 as Mickey Litzy and Suhilu have not set the fastest, or have not set their times yet. This grid is competitive. There's a lot of close times being set. It's a 43.8 in the middle sector from Terror Racer. As he makes his way down into the final corner, he goes. And let's see what the Dutchman can set as he makes his way across the line. This is going to be a 58.1, and he is in P13. Chapelele's back in the pits. Ginger on a lap. He's currently 400s up in the first sector, so he's on a good lap so far. And let's see what he can do compared to his teammate. His teammate's got a big gap compared to the others. His second place is separated by 3 tenths. As Ginger, middle sector, is going to be a 43.4, and he's improved 400s again, making his way to the final corner. Let's see what the Dutchman can set. Makes his way to the finish line, and he will stay in P2, but it's improved by a 10th, so we found some time in that final sector as Jules has retired. He's crashed through turn 6. It would have been 12 turns, turn 12 in normal circumstances, but with the short track he's actually crashed in turn 6, so that's his qualifying done and dusted, and he'll have to sit on the sidelines for 9 minutes. We're on board with IGK Jill. The Frenchman making his way down into turn 5. I know he's got some decent pace on him, judging by the recent performances he's done in other leagues. So let's see what he could do for tonight's race. Look like he's taking this lap very cautiously, but he has invalidated it, and his middle sector was going to be a 43.7, so slightly down in the middle sector, but he's got 8 minutes and 30 seconds to go, so he's got plenty of time to make amendments and continue with more flying laps. Ratica locks up into turn 3, has a bad exit coming out there as well. The back end just wanted to step out on him as he applies the throttle, as we make our way down into turn 5. See, he's better with the braking as well. The back end just wanted to step out in the first sector, but it looks all neat and tidy so far from him. and he goes out wide and he's backed out of it. He knows he can't continue it, otherwise he'll get invalidation. What about the Red Bull pair? Zach's going on another lap, so Zach's on an out lap. His teammates going into the pits. Where's Jeroen Visser in the AlphaTauri? There he is as he makes his way towards the end of the first sector. I don't know when the end... Oh, he spun. Alright, so Jeroen Visser then not having the qualifying he wants to. Sihulu has also spun in turn 5. Not really see many people spin there, but it is quite a common spin because it's quite a difficult corner, especially on the exit, because you want to apply the throttle as early as you can, but sometimes the rear could step out on you. So Jeroen Visser and Sihulu on their back foot there, and they've got their work cut out. They've got 7 minutes to try and set a lap time. And Zach's middle sector is a 43.6 and he's 1/10 up on his personal best. So this 1/10 could put him into 3rd place. That's how close this grid is. This is a short track, bearing in mind. And Zach makes his way towards the line, and this lap time is going to put him into P6. So he did lose a bit of time in that last sector, so got some improvements to make there. On board with the Haas drive. Oh, he's invalidated it again. A bit too wide for the game's liking. Used all of the track and more of it, but unfortunately there's only a certain limit you can get away with. And Quicksilver's middle sector is a 10th up, so Quicksilver on a good lap as he makes his way towards the final corner. Got an Alfa Romeo ahead of us, but that won't affect it. But had a bit of a moment into the entry of the final corner as Quicksilver makes his way across the line. He's lost a bit of time, has the Dutchman, as Joey up into P3. Quicksilver with a 57.7, so he did lose time in that last sector. As let's see where Kaz puts his car. I believe this is going to be a flying lap. Yes, it is. His second flying lap. Zach has invalidated it again. Where is Jill? Jill is making his way down into turn 3 or turn 4, whatever you want to call it. Now DRS is now enabled for him. He's currently up in the first sector on his personal best. As we make our way down into turn 5, has a lock up there, sliding through the corner on the entry, so that will cost him a bit of time. And Jill through turn 6 and turn 7 now. Looks like this lap he's being cautious. This lap is going to be a 43.6 and he's slightly up in the middle sector. Let's see what he could do in the final few corners. Can he get a better exit than he did the previous lap before? Yes, he can, and this lap time is going to be stays where he is. Yeah, 57.9, so he's improved, but not enough to get himself inside that top 10. On board with Terra Racer as he goes off the track, sadly for him. Kaz has gone up to P4. Where's Ginger? Into the pits he goes, and where's Chapalele? Chapalele is on an... he's completed his lap, hasn't he? So 57.5 from him. Not really telling me he set the fastest lap. And on board with Sam. Takes a wide entry coming into turn 5 there, so well committed. And he's backed out. Has he validated it? Doesn't look... Nope, he's not validated it, so I don't think he's happy with the lap time he's currently setting. Sadly for him. Mickey, let's see what he's doing. On board with the Renault driver, currently down in P14 on his return. Has a bit of a twitch coming into turn 6. And I think he's backed out of it. Yep, he has backed out of it. What about Hardy? Hardy in the middle sector now. This is going to be a 43.5. He's gone 2/10 quicker in the middle sector. This 2/10 could mean a lot to him, because this could put him into what? Has a lock up as the final corner, compromises his final corner and the exit too, with the back end stepping out as Hardy makes his way towards the line. A P11. He's lost 2/10 in that middle sector by making that mistake, as Terra Racer has invalidated it, as Simon's got up to P5 with a 57.7, so they're setting a good lap time as Terra Racer then. I think he's going to the pits because he hasn't got enough fuel on board to produce a flying lap. What about Jeroen Visser? Had a spin on his second flying lap. There he is then. Let's see. Oh, he goes into the pits, he goes. There's Finley, 1/10 up in the middle, in the first sector. Joey getting out of the way for him. Joey in P3, and Finley with a 43.9 goes 1/10 quicker than his personal best. Sihulu down in P10. I mean P20, sorry. Don't know why I said P10. Finley coming towards the final corner. Let's see what lap time he can set. Can he get himself near the top 10? Oh, that's P17 for him. He won't like that whatsoever. Simon in P5 there did a good job to put himself on the top 5, third row of the grid. Hardy's into the pits. Anybody else on the flyer lap? Symbolics then. I mean Sihilu. On board with the McLaren driver. He's currently down in P20, and let's see if he can improve on his flying lap. I think it's his third flying lap, I believe. Short shifting quite a lot there to avoid wheel spin. As you can see, not really full throttle, so he is taking it very cautiously through the critical traction zones. And the first sector is going to end with a 21.5. Don't know what the decent first sector is actually supposed to be. As we make our way down into turn 6 now. Now through turn 7, you want to avoid the curve through there. Into T8. And let's see what his middle sector is going to be like. A 43.6. So that's not a bad middle sector from Sihilu. The best middle sector I've seen is a 43. Oh no, he did it again. Come on, Sihilu. He goes into the pits then, very frustrated. He was on course for a good lap time. On board with Joey, the SHZ driver. The Ginger behind him on a lap. And there's Kaz on an out lap. Hopefully he gets out of the way, which he does. Let's see what the SHZ driver can do. This is turn 7, and this middle sector is going to be a 43.5. He's improved slightly. This could put him ahead of Ginger if he can find more time in the last sector, which is only about one more corner. As he makes his way across the finish line. Oh, he's in the pits. He's backed out of it. So Ginger has backed out of his lap. That's it for Joey. He's done. That's it. Qualifier's over. So Joey then. Where's Nuth? Nuth is down in P4 and his qualified is finished. What about Kaz? Kaz on a flying lap, currently down in P5, has a lockup that won't affect him too much there. Decent exit from him coming out of turn 4. And he's slightly down in the first sector compared to his best lap time. I want to go on board with Ginger, see what he does. In fact, I'll go on board with Kaz first. He's closer to the line. Oh, yeah, he's backed out of it. Picked up the throttle way too early for the car's liking. And his qualified is over. Joey's retired as Quicksilver has gone up into P3. Ginger and Quicksilver were rivals in the last season, and yet again, and Ginger has invalidated it. He was 1 thousandths up in the middle sector, and that's his lap time done and dusted. 6 seconds left, but he hasn't got enough fuel. I reckon he hasn't got enough fuel, but anyways, he won't have enough tyre to make it across the line to do another flying lap. Where's Brett? Up into P2 is Brett, so he's done a fantastic job. Ratica and PA, Simon on a flying lap is Simon, so go on board with him. Let's see what his first sector is like. Slightly down in the first sector, but he can find more time. And Hardy's got up into P6, so he's pushed Zach outside the top 10, but is Zach on a lap? And Simon, I dare say, has made a massive mistake through turn 7, and he's 4 times down. Zach's in the pits. What about Jill? Here comes Jill in the racing point as he makes his way across the line. P12, he won't be happy with that one. Mickey Ulitsi, P16, Jeroen Visser in P15. Mickey Ulitsi makes his way across the line, and this lap is going to put him into P14. And Sihilu will start in last place, sadly for him. Qualifying is done. Your pole sitter is FRL Chapelele. So Chapelele continuing where he left off last season. Bread up into a good P2. Can he get closer to Chapelele? As we'll take a quick break and we'll see you in the race. To the person commented in the chat, I really do appreciate it, mate. My commentary skills are getting better and better, so I really do appreciate it. Thank you very much. So both Hassers are sharing the 5th row of the grid, so they're both started next to each other. And Joey on his debut in P5 has put himself in P5 on the 3rd row behind Ginger and Quicksilver. Can Bread get a decent start off the line, try and jump Chapelele into turn 1? Who knows what will happen? Stay tuned, and we'll see you in a few seconds' time. 57 laps ahead of us for the Bahrain short circuit. Thank God it's not the full track in 57 laps because I couldn't manage it. Let's go on board with the tyre information then. So, as predicted, except Sem is on the soft compound tyres, so he's going for a different strategy compared to the others outside that top 10. Obviously, you can start what tyres you want to outside the top 10. So, Chapelele leading Bread, Quicksilver P3, Ginger in P4, Joey in P5, Hardy in P6, Nuth in P7, Kaz in P8, Simon P9, Rat in P10, Zach in P11, Jill in P12, Sem in P13, Mikulitsi P14, Jules P15, Jeroen Vizzer P16, Symbolics P17, Terra Racer P18, both Williams having a shocker. Hopefully they can find their rhythm because I know those two are quick. Suhilu down in P20, starting last place. So there it is then, the top 20, and we're lining up to start the race ahead of us. 57 laps of the Bahrain Grand Prix. Let's see what happens from here on in. Hope everybody is doing alright. This is Season 7, Round 1. A brand new championship, brand new season. Let's see what happens. 1 light, 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. Oh, away we go for round 1 of the Bahrain Grand Prix. Looks like the second Alfa Romeo has got a decent start and he's going alongside the racing point as we head down into turn 1. It's 3 wide into turn 1 as the Alfa Romeo has taken 2 positions, but the Mercedes is still hanging in there. But Ginger has the inside line for the next corner into turn 3. So Quicksilver has been overtaken by Ginger, but he's made a position ahead of Bread. Bread is under pressure from Joey behind. They're going side by side as we make our way down into turn 5, and he's made the move up into P4 ahead of Joey. So further on in midfield, looks like he's getting decent. Simon out of shape onto the curb he goes, and he has dropped down into P12. So Simon did start inside the top 10 as Jules aggressively goes down the inside, but he hasn't made the corner stick, so he's pushed Seb off the track, sadly for him. Just bear in mind with me, folks. So Chapelele leads ahead of Ginger, Kazizo in P3, but the graphics glitch is happening for some reason. So Ginger in P2, Quicksilver in P3, Joey is P4, Bread in P5, Ratica in P6, Vapor in P7, Kazizo in P8, Hardy in P9, and we'll wait for the graphics to fix itself so I can finally understand what's going on, because I thought they said they had an update where they said they were going to fix the graphics glitch, but clearly they haven't, so congratulations. But Ginger is sticking with Chapelele, so let's see what happens. Let me know, is it going to be a 2-stop strategy, because it's a 100% race? Maybe it's a 1-stop strategy still, who knows, soft or hard. And Bread looking to make amends to get back up into P4 ahead of Joey. I think Joey, Bread started at P3, but sadly for him he dropped out down 2 places of Bread. Joey goes wide through the final corner, allowing Bread to close up on him and use the ERS, but using a lot of ERS in the early stages of this race has not paid him any dividends later on. As we go down the inside into turn 1 we go. Who's going to make it out on top? It's Joey, who has the inside line and takes advantage and stays in P4. DRS is enabled as Bread gets a bit out of shape coming out of there, so allow Joey to pull away. What's going on further down the field then? Here comes Jules on Jill. The Dutchman putting the Frenchman under pressure, but stays behind him. He can't get past on that occasion as Sem has retired, so something has happened between Sem and somebody else as Giroud Vizza under pressure from Terror Racer. They go side by side into turn 6, now through turn 7 they go. Terror Racer locks up, Giroud Vizza takes advantage, but they're still side by side, so this is good racing between the two. And Terror Racer has the outside line. Giroud goes down the inside. They're still side by side coming out the final corner, but Giroud Vizza takes the place away from Terror Racer. It's Ginger then in the 1 second range. Crucially, he can't afford to let Chapelele go because Chapelele will just pull off into the distance. So Ginger needs to stay in that 1 second range of DRS. We know what he's like. He will push no matter what. It's Mickey Ulizzi versus Giroud Vizza for P17. It looks like Mickey Ulizzi has maintained his position ahead of Giroud. So on lap 4 out of 57 are in this race, and the highest medium runner is Zach down in P10. Looking to go for a long stint on those medium compound tyres. Simon not in the place he wants to be in P11. Bread behind Joey as Quicksilver has a lock up into the last corner. Looks like there's a DRS train behind. Is Ginger close enough to close up on Chapelele? He is, but he's not going to make a move down into turn 1 because he's too far back. But as long as Ginger can keep it up. Bearing in mind though, both Alfa Romeo is first and second. Chapelele, will Ginger go for the undercut on his teammate? Because obviously they both can't pit at the same time, so definitely go for another cut there. Can't leave it too late, because if they do, then those soft tyres won't pay any, or do any good for them. Mickey Ulizzi and Giroud are still fighting for P17 and P18. There it is, as there comes Terror Racer. Finley has got himself ahead of Symbolics as Terror Racer's taken Giroud Vizza. Now he's going to take Mickey Ulizzi. Nice battle for P17 there between those 3 guys. And Terror Racer has overtaken both of them for P17. Earlier on, Finley did overtake Symbolics for P14. Back to the front then. Is Ginger close enough on this occasion? No, he's not. Joey has set the fastest lap in the Renault, taken by Simon immediately. And here comes Hardy on the AlphaTauri. Both Hondas are fighting as we head down into turn 1. And Kaz brakes later to prevent Hardy from coming back at him. And Kaz maintains in P9. The FRL driver doing a good job there, defending his position. Hard but fair racing, which we'd both like to see. Ginger then within 4/10 of Chapelele, not letting his teammate go. I wonder when the pit strategies are open. Giroud Vizza, what's happened down there? Because they're still fighting for P17. Those guys in last points pay position, last places. Giroud Vizza has got himself ahead of Terror Racer. This is a good squabble between those 3. Terror Racer goes wide, allowing Mickey Ulizzi to come back at him. A bit of contact between those 2, but it's not too much. They go side by side into the final corner. Terror Racer a bit wide through there, a bit out of shape coming out of turn 1, turn last. Ginger has saved a lot of ERS compared to Chapelele. Chapelele's ERS stated still healthy as well, so it wasn't too bad. Is Chapelele. They've pulled a 1 second gap over Quicksilver, so they've dropped Quicksilver, but still, he's got DRS, so as long as he stays on that DRS train, it's all good for him. It's just a massive DRS train until something happens later. And what do you prefer? Do you prefer the whole circuit or just the short circuit? What's the better race here? Short circuit, obviously, will take less time to complete, but the long circuits are better because, I don't know, it's just, I don't think there'll be a massive DRS train like this. As we've got a Williams who's facing the wrong way round. It's Terror Racer who spun through turn 6, not the first driver to do it. It's quite easy to drop it there. And Ginger's opportunity is arising right now, and here he comes then. He's overtaken Chapelele for first place. Can he start to pull away, or will he be the same as before? He'll be the leader of the DRS trades. Mickey Ulizzi versus Giroud. Mickey Ulizzi goes down the inside of the AlphaTauri, and he gets himself up into P70. Goes deep into the corner, might allow Giroud to come back. But bearing in mind, if this was a normal race, a normal full circuit, then Giroud will be focusing on getting a better exit quit out of turn 1, so we can have a good launch quit out of turn 3 with DRS wide open and heading down into turn 4 and overtaking Mickey Ulizzi. But looking for Mickey Ulizzi, there's another corner coming up next. What can Quicksilver do down at P3? Can he start to put a challenge on between Chapelele and Ginger? He has got Jerry right behind him, so Jerry's done a fantastic job so far in P4. Might fancy an overtake on Quicksilver. Here he comes then. And Quicksilver's used a lot of his ERS, but here comes Chapelele. He retakes the lead of this race. Down the inside he goes into turn 1. Moves stick, and he's got himself back up into P1. Joey then, what can he do in P3? Can he start to pull a gap ahead of Quicksilver? Can he start to fight the top 2? It's not done yet between the top 2. Let's see what happens into turn 6. He's too far back, but Ginger, the wise driver, saving ERS. Just checking the comments, don't worry, I will check them on my phone when the Wi-Fi's back on, so apologies about that. But Hardy is right behind Kaz. What if Kaz made a mistake, as Jules is the first driver to pick up a 3-second time penalty. I will read your comments out, but thank you for interacting with me, because I know I always read the comments out, but on this occasion my phone is just playing silly buggers and it won't allow me to. Ginger's not close enough to make a move, so go back on board with Hardy. He's made an overtake for P8, but Kaz is coming back with the braking, so he brakes later than him, and he's done the same thing. He did always squeeze at him there, and Hardy forces his way into P8, so this time he's not gonna give up his position. He's actually fought back, so Hardy's getting his elbows out. Kaz tried to do the exact same thing he did a few laps ago, but it didn't quite work out, and Joey's caught up to Ginger, so this could be a very interesting fight for the lead here. What would the two Alfa Romeos do? I think they'd rather fight for themselves than fight to play the team game here. Though those two have got a good rivalry. They're in the same team, they're in the same esports team. What would you do? We've got SHZ driver behind you. Shazoo Racing Team. As DRS is now enabled. Don't worry, I will read your comments out. Obviously not using the ERS, he's too far back to make a move into turn 1. What can Quicksilver do? Goes deep into turn 1, does Quicksilver. Might influence Bread just a little bit. As Hardy and Kaz are still fighting for P8, so it's the battle between those two are not over yet. Sahilu having his own race down in P3. Mickey Ulizzi versus Giroud are back on board with the top 3. So Mickey and Giroud have their own little race down in P17 and 18, respect that. And despite spinning, Terror Racer hasn't given up, so props to Terror Racer, because I know some people would have gone into the pits and retired. I don't know what happened to Seb though, so we need to find out what happened to him down in P20. So we make our way down into the final corner to head on to lap 12. When are the pit stops going to happen? It's too early to pit, I reckon, because they're all in close range of each other. can Joey get that a little bit closer towards Ginger and Chapelele? As Brett goes down the inside of Quicksilver. Has he made the move stick? Got a bit deep? Yes, he has. He's made the move stick, and he moves himself up into P4. So he's gaining one position, and now can he get himself up to the back of this battle between P1 and P3? But bearing in mind, he has run out of EOS. Giroud Vizza is fighting Mickey Ulizzi. Goes down the inside though. Could be very tight between those two. They're still side by side, but Giroud Vizza has the DRS. And now it's just a drag race down towards turn 6 we go. And Giroud has made his way up into P17. They're having a good little scrap there. Joey's gone deep again. He's gone wide to the final corner yet again. He can't afford to do that because the game will class it as exceeding track limit. So he's done that twice. I presume one more and he'll be attracted the attentions of the stewards. But here's Quicksilver then. And doesn't go down the inside of Bread. I noticed Quicksilver just does go a bit wide into turn 1, so I wonder if he hasn't got the confidence to make a move under braking into turn 1. But the main issue, the main problem, not the problem, the main thing is Ginger and Joey are not allowing Chapelele to pull away, because if he drops himself out the 1 second range, that allows Chapelele to just pull away, because we know Chapelele's got good pace when he's free. And Vapor North is on the back of Ratka, and this is a battle for P4 to P7. When will Ginger start to pounce again on Chapelele? He's doing very good with EOS management, it must be said, from FRL Ginger. And I presume a move will happen down into turn 1. Chapelele will not use EOS because he knows he could use the DRS behind Ginger. And he retakes the lead of this race, does Ginger. And Quicksilver has got past Bread, so when did that happen? Look, he's gone a bit deep into turn 1, has Quicksilver. Joey looking very interested for P2. This is going to be a very good battle between those guys. Can Joey split both Alfa Romeos? Looks like they're not working together, they're just fighting with each other. It is the first race of the season, so I don't think it's wise. Oh, Quicksilver versus Bread. Quicksilver stays in P4. I wonder if contact was made, because we did see Quicksilver's hand pop up. Obviously it wasn't him, but Joey's gone wide again. It's 3 times I've seen him do that. Surprised he's not got a penalty yet. As long as you back out, it'll be alright. But I think he is using no line, so yeah, I got to mention he is using no line, and he's been using line before, so Joey, despite using no line, is doing a fantastic job. And here comes Chapelele back on Ginger. Joey's got to be smart when fighting, as here comes Bread down the inside again of Quicksilver. But Ratica, does he fancy a move on Quicksilver? No, he doesn't. So those two are having a bit of scrap there. We've got our own second group as Mickey Ulizzi versus Giroud Vizza again for P17. Can't really look at the battle for that because we've got a battle for P1 here. When will they start to pit? I wonder. Look at that, those guys down here must be frustrated. Look at Kaz. Kaz has got himself in a battle with North. He's finally caught up, so has Hardy too, so they're dropping Zach. Zach's tyres, theoretically, should be a little bit better, but Joey, what's happened to him? He's dropped out of 1 second range of DRS. What has Joey done, I wonder? He can't afford to make any mistakes like that, because he'll have Bread and Quicksilver on the back of him in no time. And here is Ginger then, back on the race leader. He's taking the race lead into turn 1 we go. Just a little bit of a DRS trade going on between P4 and P9. You expect Zach to catch up, wouldn't you? Despite these guys being a DRS train and hurting their tyres, sliding around just a bit, locking up. You expect Zach to catch up. He's catching up just a bit. Yeah, but now in this stage of the race, we expect his tyres to be a little bit better compared to these guys. And Joey then, can he get himself back in the 1 second range of DRS? I think he made a mistake around here. Look, he's gone wide again. That's the 4th time I've seen him do that. So he needs to make adjustments to the way he's turning into turn 7. And it locks up into the final corner, so not doing any favours whatsoever. And Chapelele then not letting Ginger out of his sights as we have another switcheroo for the lead. But the difference is Ginger's ERS status is much better than Chapelele, so he can use that to his advantage. But what about Quicksilver? Doesn't make a move down into turn 1, neither does anybody else. Vapor almost hit the back of Ratica. Kaz takes advantage of it and he moves himself up into P7, so Vapor's mistake has cost him P7. And Kaz took that without any second invitations. Ginger still on the back of his teammate. I wonder how long these two are going to fight for. I bet it will change in the face of the pit stops. Who will pit first? Will it be Ginger? Will it be Chapelele? When is their pit window going to open? I don't know any tyre information because I haven't done any research into how long these tyres could go for or what the strategy is, so it's a guessing game at the moment, but I presume it's soft or hard like it is normally. As we move on to lap 18 then. Chapelele not using any ERS because he knows Ginger won't use a lot of it. And will Quicksilver make a move? No, he backs out of it, so I think Quicksilver's using bread and saving a bit of ERS for himself. Ratica going a bit deep into turn 1, but not enough to affect him. So their own personal battle for P4, and Joey's almost inside the 1 second range of DRS, so he can't afford to make any more mistakes like he's done. So he's made 4 mistakes or 5 for what I've seen, and in no time we're back in the DRS zone. Talk about these guys: Zach, Simon, Jules, Jill, Finley, Symbolics, their own little personal battle for P11, P10. Not really talked about these guys. The second part of the DRS train. Zach's 2 seconds behind, so he's gained 9/10 in the past 2 laps, has Zach, so he's definitely catching Hardy. You expect him to, because his tyres are supposed to be much better now compared to the soft runners. And Joey's inside the 1 second range of DRS. And here comes the Mercedes, here comes the AlphaTauri down the inside of the Haas. Kaz has made himself up into P6, and Quicksilver has put himself up into P4, so 2 overtakes on the straight there. And Bread almost getting out of shape without a turn 4. And Symbolics picks up a 3 second time penalty. The tyres will start coming to an end soon. As you can see, the tyres fading away on the drivers. Looks like Kaz has got some decent pace because he's overtaking Vapor, Ratica and Hardy. And Zach's catching up on the back of the pack, 1.9 seconds now. And Simon's, well, Simon on the soft tyres down in P11. I thought he would have done something in the early stage of the race because the soft tyres would be much better. But here comes Ginger on Chapelele. Not surprised anymore. I want to see what Joey could do, as Bread has overtaken Quicksilver yet again for P4. FRL versus VER, so personal battle between those guys. I know those guys don't really have a good, healthy relationship in terms of racing. Let me go read the comments out, shall we? I can't really find the stream. Chapelele still holding on to the back of Ginger. They're not letting each other go, are they? I wonder how their soft tyres are doing. Who will pit first? Will it be Shap or will it be Ginger? Thing is though, if they do pit first, I think they'll be rejoining in traffic, won't they? 100% race distance. What is the pit window for the mediums? I have no idea, mate. I know what it is in the short term, but in the long term I actually don't know what it is. Here comes Chapelele back on Ginger, as Joey is our first pitter. There he is in the pits, and there's another driver pitted too, which is Simon. Simon's in the pits, which you expect him to be on those soft compound tyres. Simon has got a 5 second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Damn. It's a short track, so it's actually 50. Yeah, you're right, mate, you're right. Not been a bad race for the first race of the season. Bahrain always puts on a good show, even if it's the long circuit or short circuit. Personally, I like the other side of the track, the other short circuit, the one we had in Sakhir last season, where George Russell should have won, but Mercedes messed up on Bottas and Russell. Let's not forget about Bottas because he was also unlucky. As Ginger has made his pit stop, so he is the leading. Well, Chapelele was the leading Alfa Romeo, but Ginger has decided to go for the undercut, or he's reacted on Joey. So Joey, where's he going to rejoin? Where is Joey? There he is, down in the last corner. So can he get himself ahead of Ginger on those brand new set of medium compound tyres? So the strategy is soft and medium. There is Ginger, and I think it's a bit too far behind. Yes, he is. So Ginger has maintained his place ahead of Joey. So it all depends now to Chapelele. But the thing is though, those two are going to catch traffic. Giroud, Vizza and Mikulitsi. Those two could hold him up. There is our race leader pushing as hard as he can on his in lap. Makes his way towards the final corner. He goes, and he will pit this lap, I presume. Yes, he will. Will Ginger get ahead of? But the thing is though, Ginger has caught Giroud Vizza. He could hold him up slightly. He will love to clear that AlphaTauri as soon as he can, as Zach will take the lead of this race on those medium compound tyres. So the medium runners now are taking over this race. Here is Chapelele then. What's going to happen? Is Ginger going to get ahead of Chapelele? Here comes the cars. Has he done it? Has he done it? There's the Renault. Here's the AlphaTauri. And he's rejoined side by side into toe, and it's so close. And Ginger has got ahead of Chapelele, so it's worked for Ginger, not for Joey. But Joey is back in this fight after making a few mistakes. So Chapelele gets out of shape. Here comes Joey taking advantage of that as they go side by side, wheel banging between those two. And Giroud Vizza has overtaken Mikulitsi for P7 as Chapelele outbreaks Joey, and Mikulitsi is coming back on Giroud Vizza. It's absolutely crucial that Stewart does not get involved in that battle. Obviously he needs to overtake him, but he can't afford to be in somebody else's battle, if that makes sense. He's right behind the two, but the thing is he has DRS to protect himself as Chapelele goes deep into the braking zone. And here comes Chapelele, Ginger. Giroud Vizza doesn't need to he barges wheels with Mikulitsi as he takes both of them on. That's crucial for Ginger now to get ahead of those two cars, because he's put a bit of breathing space between himself and Chapelele. Chapelele has overtaken Giroud Vizza. Now Joey's turn to do so. But Joey could do Mikulitsi could do Joey a favour by holding up Chapelele, but that won't last long. It's absolutely crucial now for Mikulitsi to get out of Joey's way as Chapelele goes down the inside. He can't afford to hold his teammate up. He needs to get out of the way. This is not Mikulitsi's fight. Mikulitsi's fight is with Giroud Vizza. He must get out of the way on the straight. Obviously he wants to defend from Giroud Vizza, so he can't really pull aside and slow down, but he must get out of the way for Joey, otherwise he's ruining the team's race. Back at the front, is Jules making a move? No, he's not, but he's right behind Zach. Joey should not use ERS, but Mikulitsi, hopefully he doesn't put up a fight, because he can't afford to have a battle with his own teammate. They're in a different fight. Mikulitsi outbreaks himself. This is not healthy for Joey. It's not helping Joey whatsoever, is he? It's made it difficult than he would have wanted to. I don't know why he would have done that. If I was Mikulitsi, I would have got out of the way for my teammate. His battle is between him and Giroud Vizza, and Brad down in P12 with Kaz. So Kaz did not rejoin ahead of Brad, but Mikulitsi, Quicksilver, has lost position to Ratica, Kaz and Brad, so he's lost 3 positions. I wonder what happened to him. Did he get held up in the pits? Was it a bad outlap? Who knows? But Quicksilver has rejoined behind those 3. As Ginger has made his way past Sahilu. Will Ginger get DRS? Where's the detection point? No, he won't. But Sahilu will have DRS, and here comes Chapelele then on Sahilu. And Chapelele has not got any ERS to his name. So that's his disadvantage compared to Stewart's advantage. This is going to be a very interesting battle for P1. of this race. So the strategy is soft and medium then, instead of soft or hard like I thought it would be, but obviously it's a short track, isn't it? So there's not a lot of tyre wear. Well, there's not really high tyre wear, is there? Because Sector 2, twisty turns and low speed corners. Yeah, so it makes sense why they went from soft to medium then. Surprisingly, we only had one retirement, which was Sem. I don't know why Sem retired, but sadly for him, his first race of the season has gone terrible, and there is Brett making a move on Jeroen Visser. Must let his AlphaTauri teammate go. And Chapelele does not overtake his teammate, and here comes Joey on Sahilu. Easy move. What about further behind? There is Kazizo. Yep, Kazizo is ahead of Jeroen Visser, so he did make it difficult for him. Back to the front then. So the the medium runners, the medium starters, Jules is still behind Zach. No safety car so far. Yep, you're correct. How long will it take for Jules, as Kazizo has got past Mikulitsi, which is very crucial for his race. I'm surprised Jules is not making an impact on Zach. Jules is an aggressive driver, as we've all seen in the past, but hasn't really made an impact on Zach. And here comes Chapelele. They've retaken the lead of this race, but Stewart has more ERS compared to him, so he's got something at his disposal to fight with. And Kaz not making the move down into turn 1. What about Simon on the back of Quicksilver? Oh, barging there. Did Quicksilver leave enough space for Simon? Was it a late move? Or did Quicksilver not leave enough space? He goes wide into turn 3. There he is then. Must keep it nice and clean, does Quicksilver. Shame for Quicksilver, something's happened to him. Not really his standard pace is Quicksilver, but he'll find a way to bounce back. Back on board with Jules. He's closer to Zach this time than he was previous times. And Jules, oh, there's a Williams who's just spun through turn 6. That Williams is Terror Racer, so it's all clear now. He's moving again, so he's recovered. I'm betting there'll be a late safety car. I think there'll probably be a safety car. There's always safety cars in Bahrain. There's no way you can avoid a safety car. As Brad versus Sahilu. Sahilu gets out of shape and allows Brad to go down the inside as Ratika's retired. Oh no! He's retired in the pit, so I wonder if he's made a mistake. Was it him that spawned in turn 6? Because he was Terror Racer was closing in on him. Kaz has made his way past Sahilu. Sahilu, the medium runner that started on the medium tyres, so he's dropping back. As look at that, the battle for P1 then. Top 3 are very close together. Zach, Jules and Jill. Jules got to make a move, because if he doesn't, it'll allow Jill to get closer and closer, but he's turned the ERS off and he hasn't made the move, so what's his game plan? He's a usually aggressive driver, is Jules, but he's not really making moves like I thought he would be, as Kaz has got a pass Brad for P9, so that's the battle for position between those two on the same strategy. Ginger's still on the back of Chapelele, and there is Joey on the back of Stewart. Surely he's going to make a move, because he can't afford to waste time behind Zach. If he thinks he's got more pace, he should overtake him and try and pull away from him, because he's been stuck behind Zach for majority of the race, as Quicksilver and Nuth are having a scrap for P15, and Quicksilver stays ahead of Nuth. Can Quicksilver try and find a way past Simon? I wonder, as we go back to the main straight. Trying to figure out what's Jules' game plan, if he's playing a long game, but surely he's got the move done into turn 1. Yes, he has. Come on, Jules, give a bit of space, which he does. And Zach, will he hang around the inside? No, he won't. He backs out of it. So Jules takes the lead of this race. What's happening between... Yep, Ginger has passed Chapelele yet again. as Sahilu has been overtaken by Mickey Litzy. Down the inside goes Simon into turn 1. And Mickey Litzy will go, Quicksilver will go around the outside. There goes Vapor down the inside of Jeruvas and taking advantage of him as well. But Jeruvas has the outside line and more momentum, and Vapor, but still got past him though. Bread still fighting with Kaz for P9. And the battle for P1 is looking very interesting between the top 4. Who is going to win the Bahrain Grand Prix? As Jules going to pit this lap. And Jill's in the pits too, so I think their strategy, is it mediums to hards? Maybe. Can the softs do 25 laps? I don't think they can. No, they can't. So it's the hard tyres they're going on to. It's going to be a very interesting race now. Let's see what happens from here on in. Somebody's got on the softs. Jules has got on the softs. There's no way those tyres can do 25 laps. Well, we'll see with the track starting to rubber in and fuel loads going down. Could see them go to the end of the soft compound tyres, but I thought they would have gone to the hard tyres. I have no information about a long race and the short track, so can't really assume things as Sahilu tries to make a move on Mickey Litzy, but this is crucial for Simon and Quicksilver because they're getting held up. These two are supposed to be the battle between these two, but they're stuck behind these guys. And Simon's down the inside of Sahilu. He pushes it wide, but here comes Quicksilver. Philly's gone. Philly's retired. Is that a safety car? He's right in the middle of the track, and guess what? It's a safety car, and it's a Williams. Jack Aiken crashed there last season, but he lost a front wing. Didn't lose a tyre. The safety car has came out and is going to spice things up. And guess what? Ginger has overtaken the safety car, so what's happening here then? Zach needs to box this lap because this is going to be a massive game changer. He's lucky that he get. Oh, Quicksilver's got a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. So Zach then will definitely pit this lap, and majority of the drivers on the softs, do you know what? It's played into Jules' hands fantastically. He's in P4 on a brand new set of the soft compound tyres. Joey's pitted too. So Joey, who was on the same strategy as Chapelele and Ginger, has also pitted. This is going to be a very interesting race. And guess what? They both can't pit, otherwise there'll be a double stack. One of them has to suffer on the medium compound tyres. This is going to be turning out to be a fantastic race. And guess what? Ginger's pitted. It's a double stack. It's going to be a double stack, ladies and gentlemen. And Chapelele will suffer with pain. I think Joey will definitely get ahead of Chapelele, but look at that. This is a horrible double stack. Zach's overtaken them both. And that's a horrible wait for Chapelele. It wasn't too bad though. Could have been worse. Is he stuck in the pits? Yes, he was. He was stuck in the pits for a few seconds. That has cost him dearly, has Chapelele. I bet Chapelele wished he overtook Ginger back. And Chapelele will continue to fall down the order, and he rejoins in P9. So he's got a lot of work on his hands as Chapelele, but everybody is on the soft compound tyres. And while the safety car is out, I'm going to go to the toilet. So Finley has changed this race because now we've got different leaders. Symbolics up into P3, Jill up into P4. Look at that. Where did they start, by the way? Zach started down in P11, Jill started in P15, Symbolic started in P17, Jill in P12. So guess what? The medium runners have benefited from this. This is going to turn out beautifully. And Zach will be our new race leader. Someone that I didn't expect leading this Grand Prix. Let's see how it all plans out then, as we're going for a restart. This has played right into Zach's hands, the only medium starter to pit on the safety car. Come on, Knuth. Away Zach goes then for the safety car restart. Gets on the curb though, don't want to be doing that too often. And he's got a decent restart ahead of Jules. Sitting Balix, probably caught napping a bit. He's got Jill on the back of him. Here's Ginger. Joey has split the Alfa Romeos. Obviously because he pitted. They both pitted. Oh, Ginger, no! Oh, come on, Ginger. He hit the back of Jill and he's fighting with Joey down into turn 3 we go. He's fighting aggressively with Joey despite having full wind damage. But Joey's coming back on Stewart. The Dutchman suffering with full wind damage as down the inside he goes into turn 5. That's a massive shame for Stewart. He could have won this race, but sadly for him, he's suffering with full wind damage now. Not too bad because maybe a little bit bad, but not too bad because set we don't have the normal part of the racetrack, which requires a lot of downforce. Here comes Kazizel on Stewart. Down the inside he goes to the final corner, and he'll be dropping back like a stone towards Stewart. And here comes Bird, and here comes Chapelele too. Chapelele has fought his teammate again, as there goes Bird versus Kazizel, as down the inside goes Joey on the racing point. Down the inside goes the AlphaTauri on the racing point. So both racing points have been overtaken on the first corner. Joey is up into P4. Can he win this race? He's got a good pace as Stewart has spun coming out of turn 1. Jill, can he fight back Joey? Kazizel down in P6 with Brett in P7, Nuth in P8 though in the Ferrari. Chapelele down in P9, so we've got a lot of ground to make up. Has Chapelele trying to make amends to his pit stop. It's just wrong timing for Chapelele. So Zach then will lead him across the line and will go on to lap 38 out of 57. Imagine if it was an 87 lap race. I'd be here for quite a while, wouldn't I? As I think Ginger will be retiring from the session. There he is. Stewart has retired from the session and he will be out, as Quicksilver has dropped into last place. So it's going bad to worse for Quicksilver. But in comparison to his teammate, he's a massive gainer in this race, and he's up into P3 despite starting outside the top 10. So it's all gone bad for one Mercedes, but on the other hand, it's gone better for the other Mercedes. But he has a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings to Symbolics, and crucially he's dropped outside the 1-second range of DRS, so he's defenceless down the straight. He's got Joey right behind him too. Can Joey try and win the first race of the season? We're on board with Jules. I think he'll be a bit more aggressive now because he's fighting for the race lead. But I think he's just saving the ERS. There is Joey then, up into P3 ahead of Symbolics, and Vapor going down the inside of Chapelele. In fact, Chapelele's trying to go around the outside of him. There we are, as Chapelele has the inside line, and he has overtaken him for P8 as the host has left, which is Ginger. So I feel so sorry for the Dutchman. Looking promising for him, but sadly he's just gone all downhill. So then the battle for P1 is between Zach, Jules, and I dare say Joey in a few laps time, as here comes Jill, who's overtaken Symbolics. Symbolics then has made a mistake coming into turn 5, so that's interesting from him. Chapelele behind his FRL teammate. Wonder how hard those two will fight. Maybe in league races they fight like they're not teammates, but in esports they probably work together, so I can understand that. And there is Jules then, not making a move on Zach. Joey's in the DRS range. Symbolics still in P5 behind Jill. Can he try and fight back on Jill after losing a place to him, as Simon has gone down the inside of Jeroen and he's moved himself up into P11. Mickey Litzy on the back of Jeroen now. There he is, side by side action between the two. And he's taking him for P12, back on board with the top two. VR Jules is getting ever closer to Zach. I wonder, Jules got a penalty, so he's at a big disadvantage here. He's got Joey on the back of him, and Kazizel is on the right at the back of Symbolics as well. So looks like it could be an interesting fight in the last 70 laps of this race. Joey using a lot of his EOS, but he set the fastest lap as well. Here comes Jules on Zach. He was forced to use his EOS because Joey was about to get closer and closer. Down the inside into turn 1 he goes, and he's taking the lead of this race. Zach goes a little bit wide, but Joey does not come through. Chapelele versus Bread happening down at turn 1. They both go side by side, and I believe Chapelele has got past Bread. Yes, he has. He's up into P7. These two have got more EOS than Joey, so they can use that to their advantage to his disadvantage. So let's see what Chapelele can do then. 5 drivers with penalties: Jules, Symbolics, Mickey Litzy, Sahilu and Quicksilver. Lap 41 out of 57 in this race. Quite a lot of things have happened actually. A very good opener to the Bahrain race. This will be the only 100% race on the calendar because it's a short track, so I'm glad there's no other 100% races because we sat here for a long time. And there is Kazizel there making a move on the Mercedes of Symbolics, and he's made himself up into P5. In fact, Symbolics is not giving up. There he is around the outside. What's happened to the racing point, Jill? Did they make contact? And that's Chapelele taking advantage as Jill still fighting with Symbolics for P4. Something happened to that racing point, I'm not quite sure. Did Symbolics hit the back of him while he was defending from Kazizel? Because Kazizel's dropped back 2 places. He's down into P8, so I wonder if those two fighting so aggressively that they hit the back of Jill, or one of them did. Should have paid more attention. Apologies about that one, but Kaz has been demoted down into P8 as he's got a 3-second time penalty. I'm surprised Joey's not got a 3-second time penalty because he's been gone wide a lot. As they're vapor down the inside ahead of Kazizel. Kazizel's dropping back. I wonder if he's got full wind damage, and he might have because he's in the pits. He's retired from the session, and that's his first race. That's his race done. As Chapelele goes down the inside of Symbolics, and he's put himself up into P5. So trying to get back in this race like he was before. Quicksilver on the back of Sahilu. That's a massive shame for Kaz in P16. Apparently he was on the medium compound tyres. I'm not quite sure he was on the mediums because I did see everybody in the softs, so that graphic is wrong. He was on the soft compound tyres. Was definitely paying attention. All drivers were on the soft compound tyres, so yeah, that graphic is definitely wrong. Back on the battle for P1 then between Jules, Zach and Joey. We're on to lap 44 as this race. Chapelele is close behind Jill. Will Zach make a move? He's not using any of his DRS, is Zach. As Joey goes down the inside, what a late move. Chapelele dives down the inside too. And Joey stays in P3. Chapelele has got himself up into P4, so Joey then will start to feel the pressure behind Chapelele. This is going to be an exciting race towards the end. Joey on his first race of FRL doing a fantastic job so far in this race. Still got about 30 laps to go. Anything could happen in this phase of the race. Could there be another safety car? Who knows? Joey weaving a bit on the straight. So is Chapelele, so they're both weaving. I wonder if they signal at each other. What about Zach? Can he get himself back into the look at the ERS status? He could defend from Joey because Joey has barely, well, he's got a bit of ERS, but not as much as he would like. So Zach then can defend for himself. As Joe goes deep into turn 1, Symbiotics might hit the back of him. So who's going to win? Will it be Zach, Joey or Chapalele? The reason why I don't say Jules is because he's got a 3-second time penalty. Still could win this race if anything happens to the 2nd, 3rd and 4th, but he'll have to pull out a 3-second gap, or depending how many penalties he's only got 1 penalty, so he has to pull out a 3-second gap over his nearest rival. It's very hard to do so when you're in a DRS trade, so he's got a lot of work in his hands, has the VER driver, as the Vapor is right behind Bread, so that could be very tasty for 8th place. Joe, look at that, Jules is out of the slipstream completely. As there he is then, there's Bread defending from Nuth, as Nuth has made himself up into P7. I think he's actually defending him. Yeah, so down the inside goes Bread into turn 3. Can't quite make the move stick, so he has to settle for P8 of this race as Jeroen Visser and Mikulitsi are battling once again. They've got a bit of company behind them. Quicksilver there as well. Down the ends will Quicksilver. Oh, bit of contact there. So Hilo gets put in the wall. I bet he did not see Quicksilver on his left. Look at that, they're so close together, aren't they? This short track provided some amazing entertainment for tonight. As we suffer lockups, as the virtual safety car has been deployed, that'll prevent any overtakes for the time being, as Quicksilver has retired from the session, so don't know what happened to him and he is left. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 retirements. First one being Sam. We don't know what happened to Sam, but sadly for him, we didn't see 1 lap of him. As DRS is now enabled because the virtual safety car has disappeared. They're all in DRS range of each other, aren't they? Except Terror Racer, he's outside the 1 second range of DRS. Suhilu is now in the pits then. For the last 10 laps of this race, who is going to win? Will it be Jules, Zach, Joey, Chapalele? Could it be Jill? Who knows? This could be a very entertaining race. I think Zach's got the high ground because he's got the DRS of Jules and he's got more ERS compared to Joey. But Joey has managed to save some, and Chapalele hits the back of Joey, and I wonder if he's got full wind damage. No, he hasn't. But Chapalele then, can he make a move down into turn 1? He's running out of ERS, is Chapalele. And here comes Joey down the inside as what Chapalele is locked up into turn 1, has gone very deep as well. As the virtual safety car has been deployed again. Why is the virtual safety car out? What's happened? Nobody's crashed. The virtual safety car has been deployed for some reason. Can't be Chapalele going wide. Despite hitting Joey, he's still got his front wing intact, so he hasn't lost any end plate, has he? So he got away with that one. Did Chapalele, like his teammate Ginger. So I'm wondering why the virtual safety car is out then. As Jules has a terrible restart. Zach all over the back of him. Looks like he might make an overtake if he wants to, but I don't think he will because it will cost him a lot of time if he decides to make an overtake into the last corner. So we'll wait for the straight. As Jules getting out of DRS very quickly indeed. Zach has to make the move on Jules, and here comes Joey. Joey! Careful as we make it 3 wide into turn 1. What's going to happen? It's going to be so close. Not the way Zach would have wanted it to go, as Joey takes the lead of the race. As Joey has a lockup as well. As Zach makes contact with him, allowing Jules to come back at him. So Jules takes back 2nd place, and now he's fighting with Joey. It's all happening as Joey goes a bit deep, allowing Jules to get closer and closer as Hardy gets a 3-second time penalty. And his first penalty as well, so that won't make him any... oh dear, another virtual safety car. Oh, this could be a virtual safety car glitch. Do you know what? I've not had a virtual safety car glitch since the last game. Yeah, there's got to be a virtual safety car glitch, surely. Not one of those again. So if we can't restart the race because we're almost done. So I think if it happens even more, we might have to end the race here on lap 49 because that's when it came out. Might have to end the race because the virtual safety cars keep appearing. We'll get confirmation from Stewart. Hopefully he's watching this race. As Mickey Litsy picks up a drive-through penalty, and we might call this, if there's one more virtual safety car, we might call this race off. Joey's still under massive pressure from Jules behind. We've got Zach behind too. Look at that. We've got about 8 cars in the DRS race. Look how close it is. You can see all 8 cars in one picture almost. Look at that. Joey has barely got any ERS in his disposal. That's going to help Jules a lot. He knows that Joey hasn't got the ERS because of the flashing light on the back of the car. As Chapelele goes down the inside into turn 1. Does he make it stick this time? Yes, he does. And the Haas driver goes down the inside of the Ferrari, but the Ferrari has the outside line and he takes back the position. So Simon did not make the move as Joey then. Oh dear, virtual safety car has been deployed again. This race could end. These drivers are not going to be happy with the virtual safety car appearing, neither am I, so this race could end right now with the virtual safety car appearing. Does Julian have 3 warnings? Could you check? One, two, a penalty plus warning. Warning. So he's got 1 warning after a penalty. So F1 Racing League, what's going to happen is this race going to end like this. It's a big shame. While they're all continuing, so there's no red flag being thrown out there. Look at that, Jules is putting Joey under massive pressure as he makes a move down into turn 5. He goes, has a slight lock up in the process, but he's made the move stick and he's ahead of Joey. Mickey Litsy versus FRL Terror Racer. I'll check the comments, see what they're saying, because the virtual safety car has reappeared a lot. There goes Chapelele down the inside of the final corner. You don't really see a move there, but look at that. Aggressive from Chapelele. Now they're side by side. Both have DRS as Jules tries to get out of the slipstream. Look at that. Jules is under massive pressure from Joey and Chapelele. Defending for all his might, and Jules stays in P1 as the virtual safety car has been deployed again. Yeah, I think the race will end because people are getting penalties for no reason, so I think the race is going to end now. I've not seen a virtual safety car glitch since the 2019 game, and for some reason it's happening now. Hopefully Codemasters can take notes about this because it should not be happening. Looks like the virtual safety car is ending because Joey's getting close to Jules. Yes it is, so the safety car has ended and Joey then back on the attack of Jules. Heading down into turn 1 we go. Jules stays ahead of Joey for P1. Chapelele still fighting despite his... Well, he's done an amazing job of Chapelele. He got pushed down to P10 and now he's back up to P3 despite his pit stop misfortune. Still got the pace despite pit stops not going his way. And Zach's done a fantastic job as well despite starting P11. Could he have done a bit more? Because look at his ERS status. Could he have done a bit more with the fight and aggression? I think he could have, but that's his own choices to make, isn't it? We're all different drivers here. Joey too far away from Jules. Can't make a move down into turn 1. And we'll see another virtual safety car in a few seconds time. Nobody really making a move so far. So we make our way down into turn 5. So the race lead is going to be decided by Chapelele and Joey because Jules has got a 3-second time penalty. Surprised the virtual safety car has not came out yet. It should come out by now, but it looks like the virtual safety car has ended. So finally, we can get back to racing the last 2 laps of this race. So Jules, then I don't think virtual safety cars get deployed around laps 56, do they? So that's why they probably got in. Virtual safety car glitch has stopped. As Chapelele goes down the inside into turn 1, late aggressive move, and he gets put sideways. Better manage to stay on the track and. Gonna think of another strategy to try and overtake Joey. Maybe Joey's thought about it. Maybe he knows that Jules has got a 3-second time penalty and he can use Jules as a DRS train to try and keep Chapelele behind him. Could think about that. I haven't really seen a virtual safety car being deployed in the last 2-3 laps, so that's why it's probably gone in, because the safety car is never deployed when there's 2 laps to go in the game. What can Chapelele do? He's got barely any ERS to his name, and look at that, Joey's just pulling away on the straight. So Chapelele then, it's the last lap of the race, and here comes Zach. Can Zach try and take a podium? He's got to be a bit more aggressive than that, and he stays in P4, sadly for him. As Brad and Simon are going at it into turn 1, he gets sent into a little bit of a spin. As Brad takes the position as Hardy. Down the inside goes Simon. And he pushes him off the road. He almost hits the wall as well. Could be so close as he loses another position and takes 2 cones with him. And Simon then. Jeroen Visser tries to go down the inside. It's 3 wide. No, it's not. I thought Simon was with Jeroen Visser, but Jeroen Visser trying to overtake Brett for P8. It's been a fantastic race throughout the whole 57 laps. Pleasure to commentate it. And it looks like Jules will come across the line to finish in P4. Joey will finish in P1. Chapelele will finish in P2. Zach will take P3. And that is the race done, as Vapor North is up into P4. Brett in P7 ahead of his teammate Jill, and that is the race over for you. In fact, Terror Racer versus Mickey Litzy. Can Terror Racer send it down the inside to the last corner? Yes, he does. Go down the inside, and he gets a 3-second time penalty. Joey is our race winner ahead of Chapelele. Zach, despite starting P11, has finished home to finish in P3, so that's a fantastic race. So Sahilu will finish in last place, and that is the race over. We'll see you all in the next race. Tune in for FRL F1 at 7 PM yet again. Thank you for tuning in and interaction with the comments. We'll see you all next week. Thank you.